Hello. In this video, I want to talk a little bit more about what I talked about in my last video. I talked about two specific stories about a person in work who lost their business because an interpreter took that business away from them, that opportunity. And again, that's happened a few times in the past. And a health scenario where I talked about somebody trying to communicate with their doctor and how communication wasn't effective. And that person unfortunately died of prostate cancer. In this video, I want to give you some insights about what happened to me last week. Something that happened with my GP surgery. I actually contacted them through a system called Relay UK. It's an operator-based system where I can type through an operator and they would speak on my behalf. But I contacted them regarding just some information around the coronavirus vaccine. I just wanted to know when my opportunity might be to have that, but also when I could get a flu jab because I'm over 50. So I had a conversation with them via this system called Relay UK, where they could speak to me and the operator would type, I would type, and the operator would relay that into speech for the hearing person. And in regards to the COVID injection, they informed me that my GP would let me know in due course as to when that would happen. And then I said, oh, actually, when will my flu vaccine happen? And they responded and said, oh, well, actually, we have been trying to contact you by phone. We've tried a number of times. I said, sorry. I mean, I was completely taken aback. I said, you do know I'm deaf, don't you? And I've been with this particular practice now for, what, 20 years? They know I'm deaf. They know that when I make an appointment with my GP, they always ask me if I want an interpreter. And I always take them up on that offer because that's the process that we go through. And it's really odd, for me, for them to ask me via the telephone whether I want a flu injection is completely inappropriate because I'm deaf. In the past they've sent me a letter, but this time for some reason they decided they were going to call me, and that's discrimination. That's not taking into consideration my needs. They should have looked me up on their files, seen that I was deaf, and sent me out a letter, but they didn't. And so I then had to make contact with them, and it was completely shocking what happened. I mean, that was even just last week. What is going on with people? And so that just shows us that the barriers out there are still in place for deaf people. I mean, they came back and they said, oh, we're really sorry. We're really, really sorry. I said, yeah, that's fair enough. It's all very well saying you're sorry, but that's just too easy to do. I've been with you now for 20 years. You should know better. And they were quite taken aback by that. And in the end, I decided to do a formal complaint and to hand that to the actual practice manager there. We'll see what happens with that. And if that doesn't give me the resolution that I'm wanting, I'm going to go to the appropriate body in health just to progress that complaint. Because this has to stop. That people should be doing their jobs properly. I mean, how many deaf people are there out there that are being treated like that, receiving phone calls when they can't hear them? Especially for me, like I said, I've been there regularly. They know me well, but I still encounter those barriers. And so you can see from just this that's happened to me, we're not at a place yet where all those barriers have been removed, where we have equality of access, where alternative arrangements are made for people who are deaf. They're just not in place. And so you can see that this continues, the barriers that are imposed in society onto deaf people. So now we're, in the 21st century, and we're still encountering these lack of improvements out there. So I'm hoping that's giving you some sort of insight into what can happen to deaf people, but specifically to me regarding our well-being. So thank you for watching, and farewell for now.